first episode of building a backcountry burro. I'm Shane Wiegand with New Mexico Pack Burros, and this is going to be the first video showing the very first step, finding a burro. And the point of this project is to get a new burro, take it all the way from just where do you find it, taking it home, training it. We're going to do a pack burro race with it this summer, and as well as take it out into the wilderness, do some backcountry packing, and then with the ultimate goal of getting this animal ready for a bow hunt in September, hopefully in the wilderness. So this is the first episode. What we're going to do today is we're going to do some kind of a screen share split here of me talking and just telling folks where to look to find a decent burro. There's some obvious ones. A lot of folks have heard of the BLM program. We'll hopefully do a full separate video on the BLM program and really go into the depth of what that is. So we'll real briefly go over it today, but we'll also go over some other places that folks might not think to look. So the first thing would be Craigslist. Craigslist still has a lot of animals on it. It's still kind of a go-to place for people to list animals. What I normally do is I pull up Albuquerque, just because it's where I live. Pull up your area, several different areas, and then I either use the words donkey or burro. Donkey gets a lot more hits, and then search the farm and garden section. So what we've got here listed for the Albuquerque area is we've got a gentle Jenny donkey, $400. With sweet disposition, has been with the calves, sheep, and goats and alpacas. So this one's just been a pasture pet for its whole life, or part of its life. Who knows what the rest of the history is with this one. Some things to look for when you're looking at pictures. That's the first thing you usually see. Someone posts a picture somewhere to get people's attention. And if we zoom in here, one of the first things I look at are hooves. So are the hooves abnormally crazy long? Even to someone who doesn't see a lot of burros, do they look like slippers? Are they starting to curl out at all? A donkey hoof's a little different than a horse hoof, where a horse hoof is more laid back. A correct donkey hoof is more straight up and down. So if you can zoom in on the hooves, just look to see if they've been normal shape. If you're an experienced burro or horse person, bad hoof care from the previous owner might not be a deal breaker for you, especially if you've got some experience and you're looking to improve an animal's life. But if you're just first off starting, you want to set yourself up for the best success. So look for hooves that are relatively straight, not straight up and down, but at a little bit of an angle. But they don't have that slipper effect coming out. So that hoof actually is kind of shaped like this. That's going to tell you a couple things. One, that the animal probably has had its hooves trimmed. Maybe a farrier's come out to see it a few times a year. It could just be in a rocky pasture where it walks around a lot and naturally wears down its hooves. But it's at least going to give you a first go, no-go situation. The other thing I look for is if you can zoom in the picture and look for fat pones. Fat pones are large, bulky deposits found around the spine or up around the neck. If it looks like its neck has started to fall over, it's just, what that is just evidence of it being obese, possibly previously or currently. So if you're just someone looking to start out, you want to set yourself up for the best success. Try to limit the amount of health issues your burro might already have. Fat pones is something that might not be the best for you. Other things to look for is, does it look like the donkey's been cared for? Are its hip bones sticking out? Can you see the shoulder bones? Is it, that would be a sign of malnourishment, underfed, whatnot. So those are the things I look for in a picture. So looking at this Albuquerque, we'll look at another one here in the Albuquerque Craigslist area. We've got a donkey and a baby for $725. These guys look adorable. Doesn't look like some any hoof issues. Doesn't really look like a whole lot of issues I mean, that it's just one picture, so you can't really see a whole lot. There's another picture of them. Yeah, I don't really see anything there. That's just normal dry lot pasture that a lot of burros that are kept into. $725 for a pair. Not a bad deal. The description on these ones, well, let me scroll down. Yeah, real minimal. Very nice donkey pair. They're great companion animals and herd protection, or just awesome to enjoy. So very healthy hooves and great condition. So if you're looking to shoot these people an email, or maybe they have a phone number listed, this one has a phone number listed. You know, things to ask for: is it halter broke? Any health issues? Has it been around dogs? Has it been around kids? Have they done anything with it? Keep in mind, I mean, this is Craigslist. You're going to get what you get. But those are all good questions. I would definitely recommend connecting with maybe someone who has a little more equine experience than you when you go out to look at this animal. Just they might have a better eye for something major going wrong. But yeah, health issues. Is it halter broke? Halter broke, if you're a beginning donkey owner, that just means they're going to follow you when you have a lead rope attached to them. That can be a big hurdle for new folks. So if you can get one that's halter broke, that is at least willing, has a good temperament, doesn't seem upset to be around people, or is real shy of people. Again, if you're brand new, you want to set yourself up for success. So look for one that's fairly gentle, picks up its hooves. So we'll get into it later as far as like the BLM program and some of these rescues, some of the minimum requirements that they have for their donkeys. One of those is usually picking up their hooves. So picking up their hooves just allows you to pick up their feet, allows you to do farrier work, trim their hooves, all that jazz. And it's just another level of gentling that the burro's capable of. So, you know, if you're brand new, hooves, pick up their feet, halter broke, and then minimal other health issues. That should be your main goals. Take a look at another one here for Albuquerque. We have a $1 donkey here. Donkey is adorable, easy to work with. He can be saddled and led with kids on his back. He is pack trained. He's good with other animals in the pasture. Small pen in the backyard, about 13 hands. So this is a lot. I mean, anybody who's looked at Craigslist stuff, the larger the description, the more care someone put into this ad, and potentially the more care they put into this animal. So he's about 10 or 15 years old. So sounds like they're at least the second owners, because they don't know how old it is. And it hits all the main points. At the bottom there, you see $1,800. So not $1, $1,800. This is going to be probably a great animal. Does all the things that I mentioned before that you want to look for, and a whole lot more. So if this is, maybe you've got kids and you want the kids to ride them, this might be something for you. Go through a couple more pictures of this guy. Looks like a great dude. So go back, we'll look at one more on Craigslist. Looks like this maybe is a mammoth jack. So this is one potentially that might be a mule maker if you've got another a horse mare or something. $2,000 potential jack breeding prospect. If you're a first-time donkey owner, I would make the recommendation that you stay away from jacks. Just get ones that have been gelded. It'll just save you some problems down the road, and then you can get. I mean, then if you get a gelded donkey, then you can have females with it and whatnot. You don't have to worry about any pregnancy issues. So that's Craigslist. It's Craigslist. Who knows what you'll get? My white donkey Julia came off Craigslist for $250. She's turned out to be freaking awesome. Like I said before, she was capable of doing those minimum things. She would lift her feet for the farrier, or lift her hooves up. She was gentle and it was halter broke. She didn't have any underlying hoof issues, and she pretty much hopped in the trailer. So trailering is another one that you might definitely want to ask about when you're calling somebody. Loading in a trailer can be a big headache, but it's a trainable thing you can do, obviously, and but it's something definitely to ask the owners. Looking at another one, so donkey shelters, donkey rescues, horse rescues. Doesn't necessarily have to have donkey in the name, but there's these all over the place. So, you know, just Google your state plus horse shelter, donkey rescue, whatever. They can be a great resource to find a donkey pretty minimally priced. You see them anywhere from $400 to $1,200 a pair. You know, donkeys are a really bonded animal. They need a friend. So generally, unless you don't have a horse or something at home, they will require you to adopt a minimum of 2. This long hopes ones, I've never dealt with long hopes, but I've heard people have had great success. They've got numerous donkeys already pack trained, gentle. They have, sounds like on their website, they have a great training program, fairly affordable, anywhere from $1,800 to $1,500 for a pair of 2 donkeys. The one thing to remember with rescues and shelters and stuff, they normally have what they would call like a first right of refusal, or make you sign an agreement that if you ever decide to give the donkey up, it has to go back to the shelter. So keep that in mind. I mean, yes, you're taking care of the donkey, all that, but you can't sell it, trade it, give it to somebody else without the explicit permission of that rescue. It makes sense. They don't want people picking up a pile of animals, trying to resell them, blah, 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 and then potentially them ending back up at the shelter. But if you want to outright own your animal, it's something to keep in mind. So donkey shelters. Let's actually take a look at everybody. The first place people go on their websites is to look at the available donkeys. Oh, the other thing is with rescues or BLM, whoever, whatever these nonprofits, they usually have requirements for adoption. So you gotta have X number of acres per donkey, like 1 or 2 acres per donkey, a 3-sided shelter. So make sure you take a look at those adoption requirements and make sure that your house, your home, pasture fits those. So adopting available donkeys. Let's take a look. So Long Hopes is from what I understand, a pretty big facility. They've got a great website. You can watch videos on their donkeys. They've got little icons. Here we got Buffy. He's a 21-year-old donkey. If you scroll down, they've got their little icons mean different things. First time owner here, good with children, livestock guard, riding, packing potential. So sounds like a great place to check out. Other places to look that you might not think of is local mule and donkey associations in your area. You know, just Google your state or your area, see if there's a horse association, donkey association. Those folks are obviously going to know a lot about donkeys in the area. A couple times a year, we have our local Rio Grande Mule and Donkey Association reach out to us, or someone from that group reach out to us and say they have a donkey for sale, and we can kind of put it around our group and see if anybody's interested in it. So local associations, whether it be horse or mule and donkey, great options. Generally, I mean, if a person is part of that group, they're going to at least have a pretty good idea of what they're doing compared to somebody on Craigslist. Also great communities to be involved in. Join those associations. You'll learn, if you're brand new, there's nothing like being around a bunch of people who know what they're doing. It can be so helpful, and your learning curve just skyrockets. Other groups, Facebook groups, fantastic places to find animals. They can be kind of weird about buy-sell ads or other stuff, so sometimes you kind of got to navigate those Facebook policy guidelines, since Facebook doesn't allow selling animals. But generally, if you do I'm looking for sort of ad, you know, shoot me a message. Does anybody know of? Join these groups. I pulled up Arizona donkeys and burros here. They're all over the United States, from Arizona to Arkansas, Minnesota, Colorado, all sorts of variations. We'll get to tip trainers here in a second, but many tip trainers have their own Facebook group as well. So don't shy away from the Facebook pages. They're great resources. The last one I'm going to go over real briefly, because I think we'll do a full video on it, since I believe that's the route that we're going to go to get our burro, is the TIP training BLM Burro Mustang program. I probably butchered that title, but those are all the words you hear associated with it. So the TIP program stands for Trainer Incentive Program. It's a program that incentivizes trainers to take on burros or Mustangs to gentle, do the things, trailer loading, picking up their hooves, halter broke. Generally those minimal things. Sometimes you get some bonuses. They work with a pack on them, maybe work driving them, all wonderful things, but minimally, I believe it's horse trailering, loading in a trailer, picking up their feet, and halter broke. Cost for that is minimal, $125, I believe, and it's a great program. So what I have here on the computer is Mustang Heritage Foundation. They've got a list of all these TIP trainers. We'll click on one here. We got Patrick Sullivan. It's got his contact information. Some of these I've found may or may not be active. So, take a look what's around you. Shoot them an email. Shoot Mustang Heritage Foundation an email saying what you're looking for, where you're at, and start to do your research here. So that's one aspect of the BLM program. Another aspect is the Wyoming, technical issues. Wyoming honor farm, or any of the honor farms. So I pulled up today the Wyoming one in Riverton, Wyoming, and then one in Florence, Arizona. What those are large holding facilities, and they use prison workers to gentle and train burros. Those are usually by appointment only. Now that we're in the era of COVID, it's definitely appointment only and probably limited hours. But they've got a large selection of animals. I've seen pictures of some of those coming out pack trained. If you're in a northern climate, that one in Riverton, Wyoming might be this one right here in Riverton, Wyoming might be a good option for you. Those donkeys might be adapted to a colder climate. I get a lot of questions on that. Can I have donkeys in Montana? I see what you guys do in New Mexico, and the answer is absolutely yes. There's plenty of donkey and mule associations and all through the northern states. So honor farms, another leg of the BLM Wild Burro program. Switch over here to Florence Prison Honor Farm, another location you can go to find a burro. But regardless of all the different places to go find one, if you're brand new, make sure minimally they're halter broke, they pick up their feet, they load a trailer, and they don't have any super egregious health issues. Make it as easy for yourself as you can, and set yourself up for success. I believe that's all the different ways. Of course, you're always welcome to reach out to us, see if we know of anybody who's got burros available. We're on Instagram, Facebook as New Mexico Pack Burros, obviously here on YouTube as New Mexico Pack Burros, and nmpackburros.com. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, do whatever you can, share this video. This is the first in the backcountry packing series, so looking forward to hopefully the next videos on the BLM program, and we'll start to go down the road of actually going and picking up our burro. Thank you.